Welcome to Modern Musings, conversations with the maiden, mother, and crone, looking at ourselves and the world through the lens of the 21st century. Hello and welcome back. I'm your hostess, Kristen, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Amber and Cindy.
Hello.
And today is our first episode of 2024.
Woo!
So,
Woo!
Happy New Year to you all. And, hopefully you have a very wonderful, eventful, and prosperous year. We're going to kick this year off right and dive right into sort of a goals girl. I don't know. It's kind of a fun topic today. We are talking about bucket lists for the new year. So what is a bucket list and what bucket list might you already have? Have you done one in the past? We'll just kind of like talk about those and maybe talk about what a bucket list for this year would look like if you had one. So I guess to get things started off, I kind of wanted to talk about like my past experience with bucket lists. I started off with a bucket list. I think one of my teachers encouraged it, like in elementary school. And it was like the things you wanted to do before you died. And I had put on there like visit the 7 world wonders and, travel to like all these different, I think we talked about that in like favorite destinations. And like, see, my favorite band in a concert or, things like that. And probably a bunch of other things that were relevant at the time in my youth. And over time, I've just kind of like moved the list over to a fresh, clean piece of paper and like added to it and lost it. And it gets, buried in the piles of papers and then it resurfaces, like 10 years later. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is a really old bucket list. Like, I don't really care about that. Oh, cool. I did that, Have you guys had a running bucket list before?
Mine's not so much a running one, but I've made several bucket lists, and sometimes things carry over from one list to another. But the bucket list that I do is typically a seasonal bucket list.
Right, the kind of like the bingo one.
Yes, I make a bingo card that I check off. That's the easiest way for me to do them. But I also have some other little things. Like I have a bucket list of things I want to do in the DFW area. And so, I just listed them so I wouldn't forget them, because sometimes I start thinking about things to do and it's like, well, I know there was a bunch of places I wanted to go, but now I don't remember where they were. So, that's just one way of tracking. And we've talked about listers got a list. I got to make lists, so I have bucket lists like that. And I do have a few world bucket lists. I have some travel bucket lists. We talked about that on the travel episode. I just, I don't think I really have one like you did, where it was like just things I want to do before I die necessarily.
Yeah, I try not to have a list like that, but I do have lists of things that I want to do and want to accomplish, kind of like a goals list, which is basically what a bucket list is. But I have a restaurant date night list. Jason and I have a running date night bucket list of things that we want to check off and do on our date nights. And then we also have a travel list, places that we want to travel together. And then I have my own list of literary destinations that I want to travel. And then, of course, I have my book bucket list.
Which, I do have one of those too, yeah.
Which I started in November, my 40 books for my 40th birthday bucket list. So I definitely am wanting to do that this year.
Cool.
Other things on my bucket list for the year would be get back into college. That's been on my mind for a long time, and we're actually going to talk about that more in an upcoming podcast episode called "Furthering Your Education."
Mm-hmm.
And other things that I want to do this year. I want to just start a new chapter in my life as far as a career is concerned. Definitely.
Yeah. So, Kristen, you said you still keep up with your bucket list sort of, and you add to it and take away from it as you go. So it's actually kind of current then.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of all over the place. I don't like walk around and carry it around with me. It's like I write the things down and then I kind of like lay it down and forget about it, and it comes back to me. And kind of like Amber was saying, like I have a list of restaurants and date night ideas. So I kind of have like different bucket lists, but that original bucket list is like the actual like purpose of bucket list, because the whole term of bucket list is things to do before you kick the bucket. And so originally it was just like, man, like while I'm on this planet Earth, I would like to see the pyramids, and the Onion Dome. So most of it was stuff that was just like really far away, not like, man, I'd love to learn to hula hoop or something like that. But, that list, like I said, it just kind of floats around at this very moment. I couldn't tell you where it was. Well, I was going to pull it out, but I don't know where it is because I'm pretty sure it's in my file cabinet. Like every person in the house has like their own like personal file of like miscellaneous stuff. And that is, I think, where I stuck it in there just so that it had a safe place to be. But yeah, I have found myself like recopying it because the paper got crinkled and move it over to another piece of paper. Really what I was thinking is, for the new year, it's kind of like setting goals, but it's not
things you want to do that aren't necessarily
and
goals.
Maybe that's because my word last year was enjoy, right? And so when we were kind of planning out topics that we wanted to discuss, for this coming year, I was like, well, it's the beginning of the year. Why not do like a bucket list? Because that's what I want to do for myself.
Right.
Because I want to do like a bucket list of things I'd like to do, to enjoy this year. Because we've made like seasonal ones, and I love sitting down and planning out like, ooh, what am I going to put on my bucket list bingo for fall?
Right.
And I actually didn't even do one for fall. I did one for summer and the spring, but like fall happened and it was like, whoops. So, it was like too late. I was like, what's the point now? So,
well, you could have put things on there that you already did
and
check them off.
Yeah, I guess. But, I don't know. It's just like, it's the quintessential list of things like that, it would be a shame to end the year and be like, man, I didn't even eat ice cream. How did that happen? Because sometimes it happens. Like, you're like, wow, I didn't even go to the movies once this year. And maybe that's because, like, COVID happened and, like, getting married and having a kid. And then time is flying by. And I realized, wow, I didn't even, like, scrapbook or anything.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
How did that happen? Or how did I go a whole year without firing up the grill outside?
Yeah.
Because it's happened.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like, for me, it's like must-dos before the year is over. To me, that's my idea of what, like, this bucket list for a new year. Like, it's a new year. Here's your chance. Lay out all the cards. What do you want to do this year? Make the plan.
Well, and that's kind of a maybe a Kickstarter for your goal setting, maybe in a way, because it's like, these are the things I want to accomplish. These are things I want to do. Now let's see if we can turn that into a goal.
You're right. It is really like for someone who's just like, I want to have fun. I don't want to be all like serious with my goals. I just want to have fun.
Right.
Then making a bucket list for this year of things that you want to do or have fun. Like, okay, you want to go to a water park, or you want to go to Six Flags, or you want to go to the fair.
You want to go camping. You want to go.
Yeah. And then looking at it as a list and going, how do I make these happen? How do I get as many of them done this year as possible?
Mm-hmm.
And then you also get a little bit of smack of reality that you can't
Sometimes you
always
can't
do all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah, so
we
busy,
learned
life
that the
is so
hard
busy.
way last year. We had a lot of, well, the last 2 years, we put a lot of things on our family bucket list, and we scheduled them on the calendar. Here, we'll do this month, and then, reality sets in, and, November rolls around, and it's like, oh crap, we're too busy. We don't have a weekend to go do that. So,
Yeah.
those things don't happen, and we put it on the next year. Then it gets, how many times have we deferred the axe throwing thing, So,
Right.
yeah. So,
Right. But yeah, I've always wanted to do axe throwing. I've never been to like a pumpkin patch since I was like a kid.
yeah.
I'd
yeah.
like to go.
Oh,
pick
the
a pumpkin.
Arboretum. That would be so fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Arboretum's super fun if you haven't done that. You just can't take those pumpkins home, I don't
Yeah.
think.
No,
But
but
never been to the Arboretum.
I haven't either.
Y'all should put that on your bucket
I
list.
know. Well, it is on my.
It
bu-
actually
it is on my.
is on
it's
my
on my
date night bucket list.
Mine's on
yeah.
my DFW bucket list. So yeah.
Well, there you go. So, what are some other things that you have on your bucket list already? Or that you are thinking about adding?
Well, for this year or for
Just in general.
in general?
For this year. This is your bucket
I know,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the new year.
bucket
Oh,
list for a
God.
new year.
Well, I always, like when I set up my planner for the year, I always look at dates of things that I normally like to do.
Right.
Like go to Scarborough Fair and go to the fair, the Texas
Right.
State Fair.
Those things,
and
those two things, I think are both on
Comic-Con.
mine. Yeah.
Comic-Con and Oddities Expo and Horror Fest, and then Kristen and I discovered that there's going to be a Vampire Expo festival coming up next month, and man,
No,
that'd
I
be
think
awesome.
that's this month.
In January, right?
It's in January.
Oh, it is this month. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. Maybe we missed buying tickets. Who knows? But like it has one of our favorite shows, Vampire Diaries. The main characters are going to be
Yeah.
there. That would definitely be a bucket list thing to go there and be within the vicinity of Damon Salvatore.
What about other ones like small things?
Small bucket list things. This year, I definitely want to make like consistently going to the gym happen.
Okay.
That's a good
yeah.
one.
Yeah, and I definitely like want to set aside time at least once a month to do the date night bucket list things that Jason
Right.
and I have put together. I mean, I know with planning a wedding, it was hard to do a lot of those things, but and I want to go see more plays. That's one of my
Ooh, go
most
see a play or a
favorite
musical.
musical or a play. I want to make time to do that this year for sure. Because I didn't really. Well, I did go once last year, but I always try to make time for Shakespeare in the Park, and I haven't the last couple of years made time for it.
I think for me, some of mine have they kind of do fall into my kind of my goal setting things. Like one of mine is to get my taxes done on time, which is kind of
That's not fun.
I know it's
but
not
yeah.
fun, but it is
That's-
it is for me
A
It
necessity.
is it's liberating because if I can get it done
on
on
time. Yeah.
On
Because
time
you're
is
going to
the
do
keyword.
it anyways.
I'm gonna
but
have
if
to
you
do
can
it.
do
So
it
if I can-
before the 14th,
Yes.
then
And Amber mentioned a couple of things like Scarborough Fair and the State Fair. I've been to Scarborough Fair before. I would like to go do that again. And I also like the State Fair of Texas. And we didn't go this past year, and I kind of wished we had. I really enjoyed when we went the year before. So those are definitely some of the things. I think another bucket list item for me is to do that little October Daily album that I did before last year, or the year before last. I did one. It wasn't really a daily album, but it was like anything that I had that lent itself to the theme of horror, October, Halloween kind of things. I put it in there. So if I went to see a movie and it was a little scary or whatever, Kristen and I went to the Day of the Dead exhibit at the fair. So, had the pictures of the Katrinas. And so I put that in there. And I was going to do one this past year, but October just got so busy. I bought the supplies for it. I had everything. I had planned out what I was going to put in it, and I couldn't do it. There was
Sounds
just no way.
like every time I try to do December Daily.
Right. So, there's that. December Daily is also obviously always on my bucket list. Keeping up with my one little word, because I always do one little word. I don't know, though, we mentioned in one of our previous podcasts that we were working on our Goals Girls workbook, and that is definitely one of my bucket list items to get that get that project wrapped up and published. So
that's a good bucket list thing for modern musings this year.
And I like travel, so I'm hoping that somewhere
go to
in
a
there
podcasters conference. That would be a good bucket list for us this year.
Something like that. Just go do some traveling, go see some sights.
Another girls trip.
The Marfa trip was so inspiring to me.
Maybe make it up to Salem.
Salem or Sonora, or something like that.
Sonoma?
Sonoma, yeah, Sonora. Sonora. Oh, that's the makeup or the Sonora. No, what is Sonora? What is that word?
Hey, Sonora.
Oh, that's Senora.
I know. Okay, we're all dumb. It's okay.
Sephora. It's late. Sephora. That was what I was thinking of. Sephora. I was like,
Ulta? Megatron?
Wow. I think we're tired. Yeah. Okay. Sonoma. Yeah. So some of those kind of places, that would be kind of a cool thing to do. I don't know.
Any other little things? Like those are lots of big
okay,
things.
so you keep asking us little things. What little things are on yours? So we don't.
So, for me, a must-have is get my free Starbucks drink on my birthday.
Oh my gosh! Okay. That's so hard to think about doing that on your birthday.
I can't ever get anything done on my birthday.
And Genghis Grill always sends us a coupon for our birthday.
Yeah, do a birthday coupon. That's a good one. I just got
DSW Shoe Warehouse.
Oh my gosh, they give you a free $5 on your birthday. Torrid does too. Give you a free $10, something like that. Yeah. Maybe do the whole birthday
mini
month
birthday
thing.
shopping spree or something. Yeah,
that would be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You know what? A manicure and a pedicure. Because it has been a massage would be good too.
Massage. I have not ever had a professional massage.
Oh my gosh,
me neither.
Oh, you haven't had one at our retreat when we go on our retreat?
No, I always plan on doing it, but I never have done it.
It's so relaxing. It is.
Yeah,
it really is.
Never had a professional massage. That might be a good bucket list for all of us.
Oh yeah, definitely
this year. Just like a pamper day.
Deserved.
I've always wanted a pamper
Spa
day.
Castle. I've always wanted to go to
Spa Castle.
We've talked about that. Yeah. Well, and like I said, the manicure pedicure. I went through.
I've only had it done. I've only done it a couple of times this year. I
haven't done it at all.
At the beginning of the year. And
I did it before we went on the cruise in 2022, the Christmas cruise. That's it.
I think I've done it once.
That was the last time.
Christmas cruise, and then again before the wedding.
Actually, I lied. I didn't do it then. I painted my own nails in the hotel room the night before the cruise.
Nice.
Because I brought my UV light and my shellac and did it myself. So it's been longer than that since I had one. So I'd like to do that.
I'm like, it's been more than a year since fingernail polish touched my fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I would like to do that. I don't know. There's so many things, but
So many things that you say that you're going to do.
well, and there's things that
life
because my
happens.
life has changed very dramatically,
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in this weird place where I don't want to say these things are on my bucket list because they may not even be a possibility at all. And so I'm just kind of hanging, it's like, I don't want to have too many plans. I don't want to have too many.
Right. So that's why I think like small things, like add little things that are achievable on your bucket list that give you joy, that
Right.
aren't, like things that
Like
take
the
you away
nails.
from your home or are a big
Right.
financial
Right.
burden. Because like we were talking about Scarborough Fair and the State Fair, and I remember we went to both that year, and I was like super broke.
Yeah. So
afterwards.
that might be a thing
Right.
where you switch it up, where one year you go to Scarborough
Yeah.
Fair, the next year you go to the State Fair,
Oh, I never. Oh, yeah, I should do it that way because
Yeah.
we literally skipped both this year because Scarborough came around and I was like, I can't afford it this year.
Right.
And then
The State Fair
State
came
Fair
around and we
came
were
and I
going
was
on the
like,
cruise.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
like
can't
right
afford
while
it.
we were getting ready for the cruise. So,
yeah,
yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I'd like to cruise again. I don't know if I'll be able to, but a nice trip would be good. So,
yeah.
I love cruising. I would cruise like 3 or 4 times a year if I could, but
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all have kind of gotten me addicted to it.
I know it's fun.
It is so fun.
It is fun.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking of small things. I need, because my list is Water Park, Scarborough Fair, Vampire Expo, State Fair. Oh, jewelry making. Amber and I were
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah, we're
jewelry
talking about
making.
that.
And I thought, wouldn't it be fun? We could just get together one night and bring all our jewelry stuff and just sit and like put a movie on and make jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a fun night. It's a girls' night. It's a craft night. You want to just sit there and stare at your beads and chit chat? That's cool.
Yeah.
Because we do that when we craft. When we go
Yeah.
and like scrapbook with our girls,
Right.
we'll just sit there and like there's always
Well,
somebody who does nothing.
My
They
bucket
just
list
sit
is to
and
get
chat.
Amber scrapbooking because I think,
A day trip.
yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Just like,
Oh yeah, hop in the car and drive to like a city that's not that far away
like
and
an hour or
Yeah.
two away. Yeah.
just enjoy something in that town.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I think
That would be
about
fun.
some of my metaphysical studies and stuff. Some of those things are on my bucket list to like explore more or learn more or take a class
Hone your
in, hone my skills.
studies.
Yeah. So, work on my grimoire, which is actually, I call it that so that y'all know what I'm talking about, but I call it my book of light. So, kind of perfecting that and working in that. I would like to do that.
Those sound like goals.
Well, they are, but
Yeah.
they're not, I don't want to make them goals because I have enough goals in other areas that I don't want to make those a goal.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I wanted to do in the fall that I didn't get to do, and it is on my bucket list, is to take an old train case or a suitcase or a briefcase or something like that and turn it into a little metaphysical carry case for my tarot cards and things like that so that I can take them with me, because I really kind of wanted something like that with me when we went on the cruise, just so I could carry things back and forth. And I didn't have time. I ran out of time before
It was time to leave.
it was time to leave, so I didn't get to do that project, and then it just was like, okay, it's gonna have to wait. So
something that rolls. That would be nice.
oh yeah, that would be good. Yeah,
You just got me thinking
but
of like.
I don't want it too big though. That's the thing.
Like a
That's why
giant suitcase. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, not a giant suitcase. Just like a
What I was looking
smaller-
at was like a small train case, a little makeup case, like a caboodle or something. But
Yeah.
Reupholstered, repainted the correct colors, and upholstered on the inside and lined, and like velvety lining, and really pretty, and place to store my stuff. So,
Fun.
yeah, it's a crafty project. And I definitely want to make more quilts. So, doing more crafty things like that's definitely on my bucket list because I hardly got to do any crafts at all this year.
Do you guys ever go online and look up bucket lists that people have like shared the image of, like Google image search?
That was how I started doing my seasonal bucket list because I didn't know what to put on it. I actually got inspired by a crafter named Crystal Idignate, and she had done I think it was a summer bucket list. I think was what hers was. It may have been spring, but either way, she had done a bucket list, but she did it as a bingo. And I just thought that was such a great idea rather than just having a list, because if there's just a list, then you have to pick something out to do. But if it's if it's a bingo, then it's like, as you do things, you mark them off, then it kind of leads you to what the next thing you need to do is. So it kind of gives you motivation to do the things so that you can mark it off, and get the bingo. So anyway, Crystal, she had done that, and that was why I decided to do my bucket list bingos that I do and I do one every season now.
That's fun.
So yeah,
and the last few times that I did bingo, I did like most of the things, and so it was, and I was like, yay, bingo. It was like I was trying to get blackout.
Oh, yeah. See, there's always stuff on mine that I can't do. So sometimes it actually becomes a challenge to get that bingo. Like one of them that I had on my fall bingo, what was it? It was something. Oh, it was go to the Lebanese Food Festival. Well, they canceled the Lebanese Food Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And so I couldn't get that one. And there was something else on there. Oh, go to the state fair. And we didn't go to the state fair. So there were several things on there that I did not get to do. So, so I know it's usually a challenge to get that bingo. I have to struggle to get one usually. Y'all aren't talking.
I'm reading these really bizarre ultimate bucket list. It's called Crazy Bucket List Ideas. I just picked random Googles and I was like, let me see what are some of the random ones that I could find. One of them was not very nice. Tried to sneak into an outdoor festival. That's so rude.
That is. That's illegal.
Wow. Reenact Titanic on a balcony or rooftop.
I've heard that.
I've done that.
I've done that on the cruise.
Yeah. I've done it like, Jason and I did it whenever we went to New Orleans on the battleship. We did it.
The first cruise we were on, I think it was me and Stephanie. There was maybe it was the second cruise I went on with Stephanie when we went on the Conquest. You could actually walk out to the bow of the ship. There was like a little walking area. A lot of the cruise ships you can't walk out to that point, but this one did. So we went out there, and we didn't completely reenact it because I didn't stand behind her holding her, or vice versa. But we both stood there and did, with the picture. It was dumb. It was silly, but it was fun.
Yeah, some of them are actually like ones that it's kind of like I've done that already, but sort of not really. So I was like, but some people may have never done that. So I kind of thought about that, but host a Super Bowl party.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Sleep under the stars. I forget about a lot of people that haven't been like outside of their urban areas, what it's like to see the stars at night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I like this one. Bungee jump in a fancy dress.
Oh,
that would
be
that's crazy.
Lightsaber fight on a pool, on pool inflatables.
That would be
I like
fun.
this one. This one sounds fun. Sunrise, silent disco in the woods. Yes, imagine you gotta like close your eyes. Sunrise, so it's
you're out there in the middle of the night.
Break of the morning.
Right.
Sunrise. Silent disco.
No music.
No miss in the woods.
And in the woods. Yeah, that was a little
Silly.
weird.
I like that though. It's creative because so then that's like some random things, like those small things, you know. Just drive to the woods or do it while you're camping or whatever.
Yeah.
And call it a day. Sometimes it's simple as like going star watching or going and sitting outside and watching the full moon.
Right.
Or the meteor shower. Things like that. So
yeah. And I often have lists of those things. I guess I don't consider it a bucket list because it's not I'm not actively trying to do
realistic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's realistic.
Anybody can go out and watch for a meteor shower, but.
Well, I mean, some people, I don't know.
Here comes another one. Run through a corn maze in a fancy dress.
Screaming bloody murder. Ah! Children of the corn.
You know what?
No.
We should just put on fancy dresses and just like go do stuff sometime.
I like this one.
Well, the problem with that is you have to have fancy shoes.
Hand out candy on a Segway.
Okay.
Right.
Well, you can do that at a parade or something, yeah.
Bake giant cookies. I'm down for that.
Oh, yeah.
And cook a Thanksgiving feast because some people have never
No,
done
I
that
do
before.
That.
Yeah.
It's actually on my fall bucket list.
Whole one. I've never cooked a whole one
just
by
the
myself.
Parts.
Yeah.
Travis and I have been practicing for the past couple of years, so we'll do like a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. We'll do a turkey and like mashed potatoes and green bean, just something small.
Yeah.
And we'll just get like a little tiny turkey.
Right.
And it's fun because he wants to, learn how to make a turkey and stuff. And it's like, then we have turkey all month long, freeze it and stuff. And then we don't have to worry about trying to get leftovers at your house or something.
There's hardly any
I
left
know.
anyway.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, we try to do that at least once a year.
Yeah.
And if we don't get a chance to do that with the turkey, we'll do like a chicken or something. It's fun.
Okay.
All right. Well, I thought since we are starting off this year, we would like to share our one little words. I know I kind of gave my sneak peek of what my word was for 2024.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Just a recap, if you don't remember, I have enjoy for 2023. That walked with me for the year. And Cindy, what was your word?
My word for 2023 was light.
And Amber?
Mine was serenity.
Serenity. And then, as the year closes, we kind of start thinking about our words. Sometimes they slap us in the face. Sometimes it's one that we kind of sit and simmer on. And sometimes we write out like a long list and decide from the list which one that really pops out at us. Mine kind of actually came to me while I was having yoga, and I was doing a surrender yoga where you're just really like stretching and like more meditative. And so I decided on the word pause. So for this year, I feel like it's a continuation of enjoy. And it's a passive word. It's not an aggressive word like some of the words that I've used in the past. Because this year I really want to take a break. I want to stop, slow down, pause, shut my mouth, a lot of different things. So, what about you?
I have chosen for my word for 2024 the word balance. And I think in doing some of my previous words like explore, now, light, I realized that what I lack is balance. I tend to throw myself headlong into projects and then I get overwhelmed and I don't have time for family or friends or whatever. And so that's where I decided I think I need to work on balance. Not only balance in my life between work, home, career, whatever, but also balanced diets and actually like balance as far as strength and, in going back to the yoga thing, having that balance, that strength of my body. So I think it's going to be a good word because balance can, can encompass a lot of different things. And I'm really excited to work on that one this year.
Mine is going to be momentum. I am looking to have a lot of bigger changes that have, well, not bigger, but my life is all about like continuous change. So I just got married and I'm speeding things up, and I want to have like a momentum in the things, the goals that I want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. That's saying I'm putting Amber first now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're kind of keeping this episode short because it's just a fun little episode today. We got some great episodes coming up. What are we talking about next week?
Next week we have another fun one, or I say fun. It's a pretty light topic. So we're talking Coke, Pepsi, or Dr. Pepper, and all things soda, pop, Coke, soft drink, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So come thirsty.
Yeah. And then, right. And then, don't forget to check us out every week, because we do have over 50 episodes planned for this year, 52 to be exact. And sometimes we squeeze in a little extra for you guys. So after that, we've got Furthering Your Education. We've got some laundry and mom hacks coming up, date night ideas, National Inventors Day. So looking forward to bringing you some more great episodes this year.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And hope you're having a happy new year. If you are interested in learning more about one little word or goal planning, we have lots of playlists on our YouTube channel where those podcasts are grouped together, and you can listen to them right on YouTube. Or you can start at the beginning on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, and just listen to them from the start.
We'd like to give special thanks to Creative Audio Tech and Cake Mix Studios for our music and our recording equipment. And we'd also like to thank our loyal listeners as well.
Yes.
So if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed this podcast, please give us a good rating and share the feed with your friends as well.
Yeah, do please.
And check out our Facebook group, MMC Chat.
All right. Well, that's it for today. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.